Good morning! Today, as you can see, we are back in the Sahara, and I'm going in this video to build on my first case study. In this video, I'm going to try to analyze and to give you guys a perspective on the different ways of travel through the Sahara and how it changes our experience. Okay, let's go! Okay, so the way I've structured my study is the following. Last week, during two of the exact same tours in and through the Sahara, I mounted a GoPro on my head and recorded. One tour I did on foot, the other by mountain bike. In this video, I will analyze and compare some of my footage. I will be pointing out interesting differences and similarities, and I will provide you with some connected thoughts and reflections. Let's start with the first clip. As we look at the first clip, you can see me walking through the forest, choosing the slower approach to Friluftsliv. As you can see, I have the possibility to look around me freely. I wonder, think, philosophize, reflect, and at certain moments I can stop and zoom in on particular elements of the nature. By doing this, I can travel not only through, but also in the landscape. I can connect to it, and finally call it a place. If I then use my bike along the same path, having a faster approach, you see that my focus and experience is totally different. I'm focused on the track and on my movement, always looking where the path is going. I'm simply traveling through the landscape and not really in it. I use and consume the nature, and I'm unaware of what is around me. My thoughts are unable to drift away. As we turn back to the slow approach, I'd like to touch upon the relational materialism perspective. Now, because of certain physical skills that I have acquired, such as hiking through sandy terrain efficiently, and mental skills such as being able to read the landscape around me and gaining knowledge about it, I feel like I have a deeper understanding of this place. Through this way of travel, you could say there is a sense of unity between my body and its surroundings. And this ultimately allows me to feel in place, for my awareness has shifted to what is beyond my own body. Now, comparing that with our fast approach, you could say that in this case the bike forms a link between my body and the nature, equally creating a sense of unity and being in place. Yet this is not the case. The speed of this activity and way of travel doesn't allow me to shift my focus or awareness to what is beyond my own body. So this is totally different. However, ultimately there is an element of being in place, but it totally contrasts the slow approach. Even though technically both activities happen at the exact same place, the feeling of being in place gets a new meaning here. For I'm not one with the landscape, but rather with the bike riding through the landscape. Now, taking you through the last section of our journey, I'd like to touch upon the social aspect of Belgium's nature experiences and its deeper roots. As I'm walking, elements of skill, place, and journey come together within myself, allowing myself to feel in place. Although, learning and hearing about artificial features of the landscape sometimes make me feel out of place rather than in place. However, that aside, being disengaged is not common for the average Belgian citizen. Usually, Belgians go walking in nature for recreational purposes, which is why they often go walking with friends or family. They then use their time walking for talking. They don't value nature as a place, for they find its presence self-evident, and being socially active is just more important to them. The roots for this problem could be tracked back to the school system that promotes globalization and is unable to make people aware of the beauty and importance of the local landscapes. As you can see in this last clip as well, the contrast between slow and fast Friluftsliv is massive. On my bike, I am only able to get a few glimpses of the landscape, and so I am unable to acquire a sense of place. However, as I have already said, this contrast doesn't exist for most Belgians. In education, these local landscapes are only used for PE. For the rest, they are not integrated at all, and place-responsive learning is just not a thing. As a result, Belgians consume nature and thus only experience it through recreation, and preferably in group. So to conclude, through recording and analyzing this footage, I've noticed that personally for me, there's a big distinction between the experience of slow and fast Friluftsliv. This distinction, however, is not apparent for most Belgians, who consume these landscapes for recreational and social gain without a sense of place. Thank you for watching.